Right now, I'm joined by Sara Farley from the Rockefeller Foundation, and she's going to share with us and reflect upon what we've just heard. Sara, thank you so much for joining us. Sara, so thanks to you and Roy, first of all, for sharing why we need a Food Systems Vision Prize, also to each of our esteemed speakers. And as we talk about the need to rebuild food systems, I find it really inspiring to hear about the latest ideas on how to build equity, sustainability, resilience, and nutrition into our food.
I totally agree. This moment is so fraught for people globally that hearing from leaders that are not only thinking about, but acting on systems change is so empowering. It's so incredible. And I think every one of these speakers is charting a pathway to reimagine food systems for our future.
Sara, thank you. And I think for me, this set of speakers has also helped to remind us really of the connections between issues like planetary health, equity, resilience, and sustainability, all of these cornerstones. What I'd like to know is which common threads resonated for you across each of the five speakers?
Yeah, it's true, Natalie, because food systems are so intrinsically linked to health, economics, environment, policy, governance, technology, and that systems articulation just really shone through beautifully in Johan, Kate's remarks as well, and the visionaries. And so, yeah, I think we have a lot of excitement there. From Johan's perspective, one of the pieces that resonated was his notion of a planetary diet and the idea that we must transform our food systems, but we can't afford to do so outside of planetary boundaries. Then with Kate, she used some amazing props, just need to acknowledge that. And they really endorse this idea that we can and must shift our industrial agricultural system into a regenerative one. I think also her beckoning to each of us to interrogate the purpose, the networks, the governance, the ownership, and the financial structures of the institutions we inhabit was really important. But the common thread there is transforming food systems is about moving forward human health and planetary health.
Sara, thank you. Absolutely. And building resilience into food systems, I guess, is another key piece of the puzzle that you have mentioned, and also one that feels particularly pressing at this time when we have seen the fragility and the vulnerability of the global food systems brought to light in stark contrast by COVID-19. And it stood out to me that resilience really came up as the common theme amongst the speakers and many of the conversations we've also heard today. At the same time, these are all really big ideas for systems change. So my question to you, Sara, is how do you see some of these ideas really being translated into practice and action and impact on the ground?
Absolutely. It's hard sometimes. Talking about food systems transformation can feel so big, so abstract, but I think that's what is exciting both about the visionaries, but also the ideas that were crystallized in Lawrence, Kate's, and Johan's commentary. If I come back to the Food System Vision Prize, this group of 1,300 entities, teams around the world, they're not waiting to find out who is announced a finalist in August or goes on to win this prize. They are taking action now. I'll give you three of the many examples that we've caught wind of. In Nigeria, we have a team that's had a series of protracted discussions with local policymakers, and they're really on the cusp of embedding some of these ideas into national policy. Then there's a team in Mumbai. Their focus had been connecting marginalized farmers with at-risk urban consumers. Well, when the pandemic hit, they basically triaged their idea to now create a farmer-producer organization, and they are effectively delivering food that was trapped on the farm to various distributors and consumers that need that food desperately during the time of the lockdowns. And then I have to mention Puerto Rico, where the agricultural administration there has been so taken by this beautiful vision being put forward by a team in Puerto Rico that they are looking to embed that in their 2050 plan for public policy, economics, and nutrition. So it's just story after story. These are teams that are mobilizing. Then if we turn to Johan's remarks, I think what's really empowering, he is talking about a piece of work expressed by the Eat Lancet Commission that can inform the choices we all make in terms of the diets we adopt. If we have the resources to do so as individuals and as families, we can work to change what we eat so that we're working to advance our human health, the health of our children, and the health of our planet. And last, just, a huge shout out to Lawrence Haddad, Jess Fanzo, and the team. That food system dashboard they've put together is really powerful. Lawrence gave that wonderful example from Bangladesh, but this is a new tool. Really excited to see where it goes. And I hope everyone listening will just check it out and be part of the journey to take it forward.
Sara, thank you so much for sharing your reflections on these big ideas and on our speakers, and thank you for joining us today.